This YCN segment is brought to you by La Valley Building Supply and Middleton Building Supply.
Welcome in, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, joining me this week, Brett Franklin from 94 ESPN Radio. And Brett, thanks again for joining us. I think that's 3 straight weeks, so I don't know, we must have done something to get you down here.
The show is on its last string budget-wise at this point. But I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. You can always catch his show on the radio 12 to 1 on weekdays on 94.3 and 94.5, and also that replays here at midnight. And Brett, let's start it off with the hot Red Sox. And seems like they took an extra month of spring training, but they're finally turning it around both offensively. Last night, another explosion. Their pitching has looked nice. Obviously, they got some injuries. We'll get to that. But overall, this team's really improving on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, one game under 500 as we enter tonight's game here as we tape this here on a Wednesday. Considering where this team was to start the season, I think the fact that you're one game above one game below 500, 6 games out of first place, things could be a lot worse than where they are right now. What's nice about this is they're beating teams that they should beat, and they're doing it in the fashion that they should. The bullpen has been really good. The starting pitching has been good here for the last couple of weeks, and we're starting to see guys hit a little bit more on the offensive side of the ball. And obviously, I think the emergence of Michael Chavis, that's been a nice spark plug to this team, which they desperately needed it when they were lacking depth in the infield. So I think a combination of factors, but mostly the steady hand of Alex Cora, I think, has played a nice role in this as well.
And to say that 4-2 on this road trip with that final game against Baltimore, they really could have swept the White Sox. David Price with the first start. They blow that start. They blow that game at the end, and then kind of getting shut down offensively against the Orioles. So the only 2 losses, but a couple nice wins. And as you mentioned, Michael Chavis leading the charge. We sat here last week, we talked about it. He certainly hasn't cooled off at all. I think he's going to dip a little bit, but bounce back. Now I'm wondering, maybe he won't dip at all.
No, I mean, what's to show that he's going to take a slide back? I mean, right now he's been seeing the ball really well. He's been playing defensively very good. Again, sticking them at first base. And again, I think we talked about that's a position he hasn't played a lot, but he's seamlessly transitioned over to it, and I don't think it could have come at a better time. Again, with the injuries to Brock Holt, to Dustin Pedroia, Eduardo Nunez has been nicked up as well. They needed him, and I think from a Dave Dombrowski standpoint, you're sitting there just thinking, just as long as he's not a defensive liability, right, that's great. But he's been swinging the stick as well, which has been huge, and it's been in some big spots as well. He shows he has the power, I think the emergence of this guy, I wouldn't look out for him to not, to be in the running for Rookie of the Year when it's all said and done.
Yeah, clearly the spark plug on this team and in the running for AL Rookie of the Year in the early going. Now we get to a little bit of the negative part. David Price on the shelf, the injured list, and he threw off flat ground on Tuesday, so it looks like it'll be okay. Should we be concerned, or is this just, hey, we're in May, it's precautionary?
Yeah, I think anytime you have an elbow injury, there's a cause to be concerned, especially if you're throwing elbow. But again, for the Red Sox, we've heard the story before, right? It's an injury, it's not that bad. Dustin Pedroia, he's ready to go. Nathan Eovaldi, no issues there. And it's been the complete opposite. So I'm very hesitant. Let's wait and see. But when it's an elbow throwing arm, there should be cause for concern either way.
Now, we talked about Eovaldi. You just mentioned him, and I don't know what kind of effective innings we're going to get out of him. I know the Red Sox are much more optimistic, but like you said, we don't know if we should believe them. And now the David Price situation, that's kind of up in the air. We don't think it should be too bad. But could starting pitching depth be a little bit of an issue all season? We know Chris Sale, he's going to go on the DL at least some point, it seems like. Rick Porcello, he's usually pretty sturdy. He might not get you great innings. And Erod, he might go on the shelf. Could this kind of be a recurring problem this year?
I think it's too early to tell right now, but I think, knowing some of the big names that are out there, Dallas Keuchel still hanging around, James Shields, if that's a road you want to go down. I don't think the Red Sox want to make that swerve off the main road there quite yet.
Right.
But I think right now things are going well. You're getting those spot starts from Hector Velasquez. I worry about the innings gobbled up by the bullpen.
Right, exactly.
But, I think let's wait until the trade deadline, and if you got to make a move, you make a move. That also gives you some time to see if you're still going to be in this race, which hopefully you will by that point.
Hopefully they will be. And obviously, like we said, only one game below 500. They have that chance tonight as they wrap up the series against Baltimore, wrap up the road trip. Chris Sale on the mound looking to continue after a nice start last time out. We'll take a break, come back, talk some Celtics. Are they on the verge of ending their season? Do they have any life left in them? You're watching YCN Sports Talk.